Everyone has an aura around them. So you may have heard that term before, but an aura basically means that it is the emotional, spiritual and mental energy around your physical body. Everyone's got some kind of sensitivity when it comes to connecting with people. It doesn't matter whether it's the people around you, could be people in England. Energy knows no distance. So what that means is that you're talking on the phone to your friend in England, and it doesn't matter whether they're next to you in the next room or they're in England, you'll still feel their emotions, their thoughts perhaps, or their feelings about what's going on for them in their life. That's you tuning into their energy or their aura. Now that is that energy body around you that sometimes you may even see as a glow. And when you're a bit tired, or when your eyes are a little bit sort of closed, or you're in a smoky room or a bit of a dark room, sometimes you'll see a bit of a fuzz or haze around someone's body, and that is actually the aura. And not many people can actually see that from their eyes themselves. They can see that through their third eye, which is this energy center in the middle of your brow. And that is a little bit of a trick to actually doing that, and there's a bit of practice involved. How you interact with your aura on a normal day-to-day basis is by just connecting with people, whoever's around you, and connecting with their auras by walking past them, talking to the coffee boy, whatever works for you. So you'll notice yourself accidentally tuning into the people at the next table at the cafe if they're having an argument. And you don't want to tune into that energy, but sometimes you don't feel like you have a choice and you feel like you're moving away from them. That's you tuning into their aura. So that kind of energy can express itself in many interesting ways, and also in very positive ways as well. So firstly, when you're tuning into someone's aura, you need to actually be aware of how much it's affecting you, and do you want it to affect you. So if you're getting a bit of that energy from the people next to you at the table and having that argument, and that's not so good energy, unless you're one of those people that likes to be a voyeur, you might enjoy that. That's totally up to you. Nothing wrong with that. But the feeling around that is that if that's annoying you or making you feel that kind of emotion, and that's not a positive thing for you, you need to breathe that energy away, whether it's a waterfall of light, washing it away, or just grounding yourself, going for a walk, whatever works for you, holding a crystal, anything along those lines. So when you're actually tuning into people's aura accidentally, you'll feel their feelings, or you will perhaps even have a random thought pop into your head, and that actually might not be yours. So you need to be asking yourself, is that connected to me or not? And you either move away from those people, or you just sort of almost visualize yourself washing that energy out of the aura. Now, when you're tuning into people's auras accidentally, you might be sitting on a bus or the cafe, as I mentioned. When you're accidentally doing that, you'll notice yourself walking in happy, and the next minute you're down, sort of thing, or you're angry and you're wondering why you're angry. And that is the energy of the people that you're tuning into accidentally at the next table. So, of course, you don't want to feel that energy. So what you actually do is visualize perhaps waterfalls of light flowing over you, like a bubble of light forming around your aura, keeping in mind that most people's auras are at least 1 meter around their body, so like a circle of light or a bubble of light, and putting that force field up, sort of thing. So you don't want to feel that energy from them, so you're effectively blocking off their energy. And if you've ever seen Get Smart, that cone of silence, you're putting all that energy around you, or like a force field in Star Trek, how they have those around the ships that they have, putting a force field of energy around your aura and making sure that you feel a bit more disconnected from their energy. Unless it's something that you are learning from that, you don't necessarily want to listen in, but you might actually have an understanding of something in your life through that experience. But unless that's really important to you at that moment, you need to block off that energy. Other things also help, because of course you can't necessarily sit there in the cafe and sort of look a bit zen, because you might get a few interesting looks. You can do this open-eyed as well. Get into the rhythm of just breathing light over your body. So breathing in positive light and breathing out the negative energy. You don't even need to do it that strongly and that noticeably. Whatever light is for you, whether it's a sun ray, a laser beam of light, moonlight, tree energy, whatever that peace means for you. Or as they say, go to your happy place or connect with your happy place. And that it will give you that positive feeling in your heart so that you can use that to work with that positive energy and expand that energy rather than the negative energy that you're experiencing. So as you work with that aura energy, you feel much more positive in yourself and you feel disconnected from the energy that is undesirable. That also means that you can tune into positive energy. And this comes into a very interesting way of working with connections, relationships, you know, the interesting random people at the pub that you might find attractive. And this I like to call a bit of tantric energy. And tantric energy, there's many different versions of it and variations and descriptions. I like to think of it as an energy connection that makes you not only lift your heart energy and your sort of make you feel sort of tingly and nervous, but that sort of sense of energy connection. It's almost like you're being pulled towards someone. And don't get me wrong, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're meant to marry that person. It might mean that they have an interesting message for you. It might mean that they're your next boss. They're going to be a lifelong friend or someone that you might just want to connect with for that evening. So when you're actually walking into a pub or a restaurant or anywhere really, walking along the beach, what you'll actually do sometimes is find yourself looking at someone and getting that fluttery feeling, and that's okay. And sometimes you might even get that when they're holding hands with their partner. Don't feel bad about that. It might just be that your energy is similar to theirs and your energy is accidentally reaching out to theirs. So don't feel guilty. Doesn't mean you need to go over and, you know, break up their marriage or relationship or anything like that. It literally just means that you're having an energy connection with someone. So don't automatically think that it's a romantic connection. Nothing wrong with exploring it, but doesn't mean you need to stalk them. So my suggestion to you, and especially if you're lacking a little bit of love in your life and you're feeling like you want a relationship, or even if you're with someone and that you're perhaps finding that your current relationship isn't as fulfilling as you would like. And there's nothing wrong with reaching out and having new connections as friendships, or just having an inspiring person in your life to banter with. So as you connect with people wherever you are, whether it be in a cafe, in a restaurant, at a wedding, wherever, down the beach, if you feel that little pull or tug towards someone, explore it. Wherever you are, you're going to have some interesting energy connections with people. What that means is wherever you are, have a look around, and whether it's male, female, dog, cat, doesn't matter. Good, for goodness sake, you might even feel drawn to a tree. And when you're looking around, if you feel like a lightheartedness or that tug or pull or almost like tingly energy that you would feel when you're feeling an attraction to someone, explore it on an energy level. Do you feel like you need to connect with that person, talk to them, pat that dog, hug that tree, whatever works for you? Just explore it. Exploring energy and people in your life. You know those situations where you've walked through a mall or in a checkout line or at the bar at the pub, and you've kind of turned to someone and felt, oh, you're interesting. Why not have a chat with them? Us people in this day and age, we're too in our own little worlds. There's nothing wrong with exploring in a friendly, energetic way the connection or the energy buzz that you're experiencing in that moment. And as you do, as I said, you'll feel that sort of a little bit of like a tingle or a buzz or however it expresses it in your body when you're attracted to someone, sort of thing. It doesn't mean that you're necessarily going to be romantically attracted to someone. It means that there's a connection there in some way, that you might meant to literally just be exchanging a smile, piece of advice, or just have a similarity in your lives at that particular moment that you're both dealing with. That doesn't necessarily mean you're here to be connected and married and having 6 kids. So when you're experiencing that kind of energy buzz, what I'd like to call an energy crush. explore it on a friendly level, look into it, maybe have a chat to them, sort of thing. And if they're too busy, of course, step back. You don't want to run after them. If that experience is meant to happen to you again, or you're meant to connect with them, and the moment isn't right, they'll find another way to get that person to you, or to have someone else bring that experience into your life in some way or another. So don't feel like you're going to miss out by letting that person run away from you, or that dog or cat if you just happen to be that kind of person. So as you're experiencing that feeling, don't just look at people around you. What is creating that sort of energy? It might literally just be that you're enjoying the day particularly. So as you're connecting with the people around you and feeling that little buzz, don't be afraid to sort of reach out and connect with them on that friendly level. So if you're feeling that energy connection and feeling that pull, it's almost like a little bit of a physical tug or pull in that direction. And I'm sure we've all experienced it at some point in our lives where we've kind of felt like we've had no control in walking up to someone. It's kind of like almost like the world stops in a sense. It doesn't also mean that it's romantic, as I said before, but it also means that you have that energy connection with them, or a little bit of that energy crush energy. Basically, if you're feeling that tug or pull, ask the universe or your spirit guides or guardian angels to create a situation where you can talk to that person. You don't necessarily want to run up to them when they're having a romantic moment with their partner. So if that's meant to be, allow yourself to be caught up in that moment and just try and surrender to the process of that, because it means that you have an energy connection with that person that you may explore at that time or at another time in your life. Sometimes people walk in and out of our lives for reasons, and that doesn't necessarily mean that you need to grab onto the person at that point in time. Sometimes they'll walk through our lives to go, oh, that's an interesting person, or I like that look, or I like how they're treating their cat, their dog, their children. It doesn't necessarily mean you're meant to marry that person. It means that you're perhaps observing a positive trait about them that you would like in your future partner. They may not necessarily be the future partner, but they may be the ones that can perhaps lead you to them, or is giving you an example of the kind of thing that you would like in your life. When you're connecting with that person, it might be the only lesson that you need to experience with them. That's what we like to call an energy crush. An energy crush can last 2 seconds or a lifetime. And that tantric energy and that soulmate energy is those moments of energy crush being pulled to them for the rest of your life. That is the only difference. And who doesn't want to have those moments for the rest of their life with their partner?